What's up, everyone? Josh Baker here with HCS Grappling again, and we are on the road to HCS 6, brought to you at Zach Performance Training in Shrewsbury, New Jersey, October 22nd. Doors open at 4:30. Doors open at 4. First match is at 4:30, and we have a stacked 17-match all-female card. I'm super excited, and there's no one else I'd rather talk to than the first female to got the win in HCS back in March. Chelsea, thank you for joining us today. How is everything going on?
I'm great. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Of course. So like I said, you were the first female to get their hand raised in the circle. That was all the way back in March, and look at that, we were in October, and you're back for your third showing. How was your first two HCS experiences? You had great two matches with Erin and Christina. Just talk about your experiences through us.
So when I initially applied to the promotion, I thought it was funny that you guys haven't even had like a female match on the card. And I guess that's what happened, with women's jiu-jitsu is still, up and coming. I would say definitely within this last year, I feel like I've seen the most progress, especially in the advancements of, trying to highlight women, especially with all these female cards coming out. I haven't been in the game for that too long. In August, it was about my 5-year anniversary. So, I just feel like within that short time span, I've seen the evolution of women's jiu-jitsu come along. So it's just really cool that you're doing this for us. We appreciate you for that. But in regards to that first opportunity I had, that was fun. The rule set is definitely tricky. So I respect that from you guys. I believe that as grapplers, we should be well-rounded. So funny enough, a lot of the different facets of your overtime did highlight a lot of my, weaknesses in grappling. I've always been more used to like the sub-only aspect, a lot of EBI, but your sudden death EBI was definitely a different experience. It was exciting. I have to say that first match when I went against Erin, that was a tough one mentally. I did go into that one generally alone, so I felt like the whole gym was pretty much against me. So I don't know.
Masbury, they were close.
Yeah, so with how I got the finish, I don't know if it was caught in the camera, but I freaked out a little bit because I was like, I do not want this to go to overtime. Erin feels really strong and I do not want to deal with, that set of rules. So when I got the tap, I was like, oh. But it was very exciting. And of course, going against Christina too is also a lot of fun. We've had a lot of back and forth throughout the years. So that was great for you to be able to highlight us in one of her last matches before I think she went to New York for medical school. So she's always a great competitor as well to go against.
Yes, Dr. Stringbean. The debut.
I don't have a nickname like that.
We'll get you there. But yeah, you've been nonstop exciting. I'm happy to get you on this card, especially the female only. It is a big push for us. And I also like that I was finally able to give you a matchup that you haven't really got. Well, I think we've gone against her or
yeah. Against Kelsey, I think in August at a Grappling Industries in 2021. Long time ago. Right. Yeah. So happened in a year, so looking forward to see the growth.
The biggest thing is seeing the growth in between, especially female jiu-jitsu as a whole, because the matches just keep on getting better. It's just the growth. There's more and more females like you and everybody else that are making names for it, and everyone just, oh, I think I can do that, and then they go and try it, and they keep on going like that. That's awesome. Super excited. So what else do you have in store coming? We already know in the back end, but so since March, I think I've seen your face everywhere. You've been popping up on every card, no matter what state it is, no matter what rule set it is. You've been staying busy. So what does the year look for like you as we're coming at the last quarter of 2022?
God, that's crazy to think the year is already ending that soon. But I do have a bunch of stuff coming up. Funny enough, before our match on the 22nd, I did have an opportunity with finishers to compete against Alex Wynn, which I'll be doing before and then coming down to you guys. So looking forward to that day, even though it's going to be busy. A lot of people tell me I'm a little crazy about that, but I guess you have to look at it like it's, a tournament. You have multiple matches, it's technically matches, and I'm gonna have like a couple of hours break in between. So that's how I look at it, so I should be good. So I think I have that, and then beginning of next month, tentatively Ironman Grappling in Connecticut too, which is another great promotion. And funny enough too, they are also doing another women's card. I have Riverfront Fights, another local based promotion on the East Coast coming out of Delaware. I hear a lot of good things about that one. So looking forward to taking the trip, competing there. I think I do have a match for Sogi the beginning of December for their inaugural first tournament that they're going to be hosting on Flow. So I know the promoter, and he is very excited as well to have them featured on Flow Grappling. And I think I'm ending the year with Nogi Worlds in California. That's too super stoked for, because finally as a brown belt, everything's going to be legal. But of course, as we mentioned, as a well-rounded grappler, you should be able to, change your game for certain rule sets. But let's just say, I do have some of my bad habits with reaping a lot, bad habits. So it'll be very exciting to be able to not fear that, because I did compete at Pans last year as a purple belt in May of 2021, and I feel I got in my head with that because of having to change up some of my usual style. So, just looking forward to that.
Good. Staying busy. The only way you can keep on getting better. It's nonstop action. And I mean, but that's what you have to do. And everyone's going to bring their little bit different rule set, and they're going to keep on pushing through. So let's get to it. October 22nd, you do have one match with finishers, and then you are going to be making the trip over to Shrewsbury. So you're going to be covering, you're going to leave from New York, go to PA, come back to Jersey, and then go back home. It'll be a good weekend. But let's talk about the Kelsey match, all right? How do you see how this is going to go? You're looking for anything? Obviously, you don't have to give us your whole game plan, but how do you think the card's going to go?
Being, I guess this is technically a rematch, maybe I'm looking to play another facet of my game. I've gone back and forth with some thoughts about that. Also to maybe playing a little bit more into your rule set if it does happen to get there, especially for the second overtime with the takedowns. I mean, ideally, you'd probably want the takedown because it is the easiest way to score immediately, unless you're really, sufficient with being able to pull and sweep immediately. Because I'm sure y'all saw my stand-up with Christina. So I definitely, people who have seen my style definitely know that's, something to work on. So I can say, but looking forward to that. Also to, who doesn't want a nice quick sub? I'm not gonna lie, it's all for us on our self-promotion and our growth as athletes, right? So ultimately, I do hope to get a nice little quick sub right from the get-go. But, I guess that's the exciting part. I guess we'll also have to see what happens on the day of. Because I do believe sometimes we can plan as much as we want. Like I said, being that I am coming from another match earlier that day, who knows, what's going to happen in there. I might, obviously not putting that energy out into the universe. But, who knows, maybe I can get, I don't know, something tweaked. So then I'll have to change my whole game plan. So I'm a firm believer in, be prepared, have an idea of what you want to do. But also, I think the best competitors out there are ready for any situation that may happen. Just be prepared from all aspects. Even if I wasn't coming for another match earlier that day, you may wake up just feeling weird. It happens to us all the time. We just wake up the next day and we're like, did I pull something? So you be ready for all those aspects in your game, and just be ready, to perform, and, don't be your own worst enemy.
Exactly. I mean, jiu-jitsu is the sport of learning how to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, right? You're putting yourself in bad spots, you're going to work your way out of it, and that's it. You only can shoot for your best. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see you grow as a competitor.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping nothing but the best for the go out. I'm hoping that October 22nd, you get 2 good shows, 2 good matches, and you keep on going and you hunt for that world title in December. That'll be awesome to see you get crowned on that. So is there anything else you want to say to out there? I know a lot of other females are on this card. Even you said you're on Riverfront. Elise Shaw is on the card. She's hosting that card.
Yeah,
she's on our card too. So she's doing a great job. and we have heavy hitters like Laura Kent, Lydia, Nicole Matthew. I try to do a good job of. We have 17 matches, 17 all-female matches. I'm super pumped how it all fell out. But we also have a lot of young competitors that are looking at this, and especially young females. They look for the role models, and not even if you don't want to be a role model, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are. And some people just don't know if they're ready to go, but that's why I like giving opportunities from starting from white belt all the way to black. And do you have any messages for these young girls that are ready to make the push, but might be a little on the edge to go?
One, I have to say for you, the promoter, thank you for giving those lower belts and newcomers these opportunities. Again, like I said, I haven't been in the game that long, but I would hear stories, from my coaches or from other competitors who have been just doing this for 10 plus years that, way long ago, like super fights where I think you had to beat upper belts, so I guess that is just the evolution of the sport. More opportunities arise as, the culture of things within, competing changes. So it is cool, I would say, that, these lower belts, these newcomers are getting these chances, and to definitely not stray away from it. It can be very stressful. I can see I can be very anxiety driven. To me, funny enough, the mental and emotional aspect of competing is always more draining than the physical. I know my work ethic. I know I can put in the training, the hours, the diet if needed, the cross conditioning, but tackling that mental aspect literally is a whole new ball game. And I feel as I have progressed through the belts, taking on larger promotions, taking on higher acclimated athletes, that is the toughest thing to overcome. And funny enough, I have this weird mentality on it. I believe for me, I almost like to scare myself or into that challenge of growing, because what's that saying? You're never going to grow if you're always comfortable. So I reflect on this because I remember the first opportunity I had for a super fight. I was barely training, I think I was training a little over a year. I barely had my blue belt. That's what it was. I think I had my blue belt for a couple of months. It was my first opportunity, funny enough, competing for finishers. And I was a blue belt. I took a match against a good purple belt that was coming over from California to help open up 10th Planet, New York. It was Cece, actually, Cece Mena, and I'm really cool with her now. But I remember applying for that match, being scared AF out of my mind, including it was probably my second or third opportunity to be able to even just compete in general. And then I threw myself into this super fight. And even though I lost, she got me in a pretty gnarly dead orchard. You still grow. You just have to put your ego to the side. You just have to realize that with every loss, there is some type of growth, but you have to, open your mind to accept that. So to those new people coming in and challenging themselves, one of my girlfriends is on the card, Kim. She is still a white belt and taking these matches against blue belts, and I'm so proud of her for that, because I can't even say at her level I would have felt comfortable for that. I barely was able to do it at blue belt, taking on a purple belt. Would have gave myself a panic attack. I give mad props to these girls coming in like that. And as you see, because I feel of this, the standard that some of these young, newer athletes are taking, their growth is exponential from match to match. I follow a lot of the girls on the local scene, and they're doing so well, I think, because also to the caliber of jiu-jitsu on this side of the country. I am a firm believer in that, East Coast. But also to just putting yourself out there, challenging yourself. You have nothing to lose. But again, the hardest part is you can't let yourself be your own enemy with that, and just take the opportunity when it's presented. So to those people who are afraid, just do it. You literally have nothing to lose, especially again if you're going against an upper belt. Oh, you lost an upper belt. You just started training. But yeah, and again, thank you so much for highlighting women on your card here. I just think the dynamic of it is so funny. You went from no women to a card full of women, so it's super cool. And I know some people have their comments on what they have to say about women in jiu-jitsu. Again, because it's not, I feel, as evolved and up to that caliber of some of the standards with men. But with women, you get a whole different game. my experience just learning different techniques, training with different type of bodies, bigger guys, smaller guys, bigger women, smaller women, women especially, I feel will move differently. So it makes it more exciting in a way. Some things that would normally not work or work are the complete opposite when you have a, hyper flexible, fast, athletic woman body versus like a stiff guy, strong woman, So it's just cool to just see the, the different nuances and variances of that. So again, thank you for highlighting that for us.
Of course, I mean, styles make matchups, and everybody's a little bit different. And that's what the best part of jiu-jitsu. I mean, you see some people like they're not good at jiu-jitsu, and then they're a killer. Mikey Musumeci, the Darth Rigatoni. You look at him, he's like, he's not going to do anything, and he will do exactly what he wants. But again, thank you for being on the card. Thank you for being a movement, and that's what it is. Like, I'm a wrestling coach, right? Female wrestling is blowing up. I was at the first state tournament where I'd watch them like, the wrestling's not there. Last year, I'm watching these matches, I'm like, oh, these girls can beat a lot of the guys, and they're just going to keep on getting better. And we need more people like you, and everybody else just keeps on going in. And 5 years from now, people are going to look at it like, oh, wow, this is crazy. I'm telling you, in 2 ADCCs from now, the female division is going to look completely different. They're going to make the modifications that they do. They're going to add more weight classes. Whatever they want to do, there's going to be more of a talent pool to grab from, and that's the issue. And we just need the confidence of what you just said, just pull the trigger. Right? Closed mouths don't get fed. The only way you're going to learn is from experience. So I'm super excited to give a platform, and I'm super excited for on October 22nd, we have the all-female card, and October 23rd, we get to host Girls in Gi too. So Lydia is one of the instructors on that. So we go back-to-back weekends. And then the following week, I'm hosting a white and blue belt tournament. So if you are out there and like, I want to give it a try, come out. I'm doing it right at the gym, 2 mats, guaranteed 2 matches. Come in, get a look. And then if you do get a win, you win your division, you're guaranteed a spot on one of our upcoming cards. So don't be afraid to take your shot. Don't be afraid to grow, especially look in, tune in, learn from visual. That's all we have to do right here. Again, we're coming live to you October 22nd, live here on our YouTube channel. Doors open at 4. First match is at 4:30. Chelsea's on the card. Everybody else is on the card. Make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, like, and keep on going. Anything else, Chelsea?
One thing I have to say, I love your, so like I said, I've been there for the last 2 events with Super Fights. I think I told this to you before, you got to have a girls team event, because I did that. Yeah, I did that one time. Where was I? It was for this weird promotion I've never heard of before. I went to, it was out of this casino in the Poconos. I forget. But it was almost, I think it was only 3 people to a team, but it was almost like quintet style, where you had to the weights had to culminate to a certain amount and stuff. But that was so fun. And I do not see enough girl events like that on the East Coast. So, you should definitely do that.
Here we go. We'll put the offer out right now. Chelsea's going to put a team of 5 females out there. All right. If someone else hits me up, we'll make that done.
Oh, you will get a bunch of girls on that.
Right.
I think
it's out there. And also, if you didn't know, November 19th, we are going to crown our first pro dual champ. We have 8 teams of males, purple, brown, blacks, coming from all over the country. It's going to be a great time. We're going to kill it on the end of the year. But again, the offer's out there. Chelsea just put it out there. All right. I hope you're all listening. Challenge go. Who's going to accept it? I'm in. Absolutely. All right, Chelsea. Thank you. We'll see you in less than 3 weeks. Best of luck in your training, and we'll talk soon. All right.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
See you later.